allegation of police brutality in Henry County draws an expression of concern from the police chief and an internal affairs investigation.
Plus, a local kindergarten teacher accused of selling drugs.
Not even a 1 in a million diagnosis is keeping this young lady from enjoying every day. Brave conquers fear, coming up. Live from Atlanta, 11Alive at 5 starts now.
We have breaking news right now. Police are searching for a gunman who opened fire outside a Walmart in Cobb County.
And it all happened while the store was full of shoppers this afternoon. Right now, the story is trending on 11alive.com as you seek answers about what happened and why.
One thing that we can clear up right away is where this happened. It was at the store on Barrett Parkway near Powder Springs Road in the city of Powder Springs. 11Alive's Caitlin Ross is there right now. Caitlin, anybody else seriously hurt in the middle of this?
Jeff, one of the gunmen was seriously injured. His friend ended up having to drive him to the hospital. That's where police were called and he was turned in. The other gunman, though, still on the loose. Police tonight say they're still trying to figure out what started the argument. The two men were here in this Walmart parking lot when they got into that fight, pulled guns on each other, and both of them fired. Police have reviewed the security camera footage and say from that, it looks like both of them were shot, both of them injured.
Yeah, it's scary.
I'm a little scared just because we come here every week.
And definitely scary for shoppers here. This happened in the middle of the day, sun bright outside. This place was packed when those shots were fired. People now want more information. So far, police have not released a suspect description. They haven't told us who exactly they're looking for. But coming up tonight at 6, more on why those two started fighting and what comes next.
And we will have the very latest on 11alive.com as well. Caitlin Ross in Cobb County, thank you.
Tonight, Henry County Police are talking to us for the first time on camera since a former NFL player posted a video of himself being arrested by officers.
You understand me? I'm not even doing nothing. I'm not even fighting back.
Desmond Morrow says his teeth were knocked out and he was choked unconscious as officers tried to arrest him. The video has been viewed more than 1 million times already on Facebook. He claims this all stems from an argument with two men who called him a racial slur and then threw hot coffee in his car. We repeatedly asked police to speak with us to get their side of the story. Today, they finally spoke with 11Alive's Doug Richards. Doug?
Well, it happened in this parking lot near I-75 here in Henry County. And the African-American motorist who says that he encountered these other motorists described them as two young white men who were hollering racial slurs at him in traffic. And then, as you described, also threw hot coffee at them. After that, police got involved, and according to the cell phone video, it got pretty ugly. Cell phone video shows two Henry County police officers pushing Desmond Morrow toward a truck, then toppling him to the ground, and one of them pushing his hands on Morrow's throat.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
Henry County's police chief says he's seen it.
I too admit watching just that small portion of that video is very concerning.
Chief Mark Airman says he has placed one of the two officers, David Rose, on administrative leave pending an internal affairs investigation.
These officers were out there for over 45 minutes.
The chief says the evidence will include police dash cam video and additional cell phone video.
When the cops pulled up, I thought I was the victim. I had hot coffee on me. I just didn't think it was going to go that way. And then the way it started off, they started off calling me boy. So I knew at some point it was going to turn bad. I just didn't know how bad.
Morrow spoke to us after some 200 people showed up at a church to rally in support of him.
First of all, we're demanding that both officers are terminated immediately.
I definitely have concerns. It's still an investigative process, but yes, I have concerns. That's why I ordered the investigation.
Now, police say that Morrow is charged with reckless driving and obstructing a police officer. That latter charge is a felony charge. Police did indicate that the internal affairs investigation would go on for at least a couple more weeks, perhaps longer. Cheryl.
All right. Thank you so much. A lot of people know him from football. He started his football career at the University of Toledo. He spent 6 years there Because of injuries in 2012, he signed with the Houston Texans after going undrafted. After being let go during the preseason, he was picked up by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where he played in 2 preseason games. After being released, he signed with the Canadian Football League's Edmonton Eskimos, where he played for a season. You can track this story on 11alive.com. We are posting updates there as soon as we receive them. You can also go to our 11 Alive Facebook page to share your reaction.
Tonight, a family once answers police shot and killed a mentally ill woman over the weekend, a woman whose relatives say may not have been capable of understanding the officer's commands to surrender. They want to know, what did police do to try to disarm her? What happened that caused them to believe that their lives were in danger? 11 Alive's John Sherrick is on the story for us tonight in Johns Creek.
She was a native of Somalia, we're told, a U.S. citizen, 36 years old, who had a breakdown at home Saturday morning. Under treatment and medication for bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, Shukri Saeed grabbed a kitchen knife, walked out. Her family called 911, afraid for her, not afraid of her, hoping police would know how to disarm her and help her so they could get her to a hospital.
She was sick, and that morning she deteriorated. They called for help. Shukri was not helped that day. She was shot and she was killed.
Edward Ahmed Mitchell of the Georgia chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations and the family's attorney, Ibrahim Awad, hope police video will show what happened. Police say they did use a taser and rubber bullets. Did Saeed then lunge at officers? Awad wants to know what training the officers have had to disarm people who are mentally ill safely.
The officers that responded knew about her mental illness. They were forewarned that this person does not respond to commands.
The GBI is investigating whether the officers were justified in opening fire.
Whatever happened, this should not have been the ending. Someone is mentally ill in that circumstance, there should have been a different ending than this.
Mitchell and Awad say the GBI told them there is police dashcam video that may show what led up to the shooting. No comment from Johns Creek police while the GBI investigates. In Johns Creek, John Sherrick, 11 Alive News.
Tonight, we have learned the names of the victims involved in a plane crash in Forsyth County. The pilot was trying to land on Browns Bridge Road when it clipped a car and crashed on Saturday. The pilot, 28-year-old Antonio Arteaga Membreno, did not survive. Passenger Litsu Chen suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Another passenger, Shen Yang Wu, is already out of the hospital. The NTSB is now working to figure out what caused that plane to go down.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Storm Trackers. What a great weekend we had. What a great day we had out there today with plenty of sunshine, very comfortable temperatures. And today we have moved up into the mid-70s. Our temperature right now of 74 degrees. That is our high temperature so far for the day. And it's even a little warmer in some other spots, like in Athens, it's 76 degrees. We have 76 in Eatonton. In LaGrange, it's 78 degrees. And on the north side, we even have some of these milder temperatures too. 77 in Rome, 76 in Canton, and even mid-70s in Blairsville and also Clayton there in the mountains. It is just a great day out there. Now, as you're going through the rest of the evening hours, it's going to be a nice night if you have plans to go out, walk the dog, take a walk around the neighborhood after work tonight. It's going to be great with the sun going down after 8 o'clock tonight. And we're going to hold into those lower 70s until we get to that hour, and then down to the 60s once we get to 9, 10 o'clock tonight, and then dropping down into the 50s here by tomorrow morning. With this clear sky, it's going to allow those temperatures to cool down a good bit. So we'll start off in the morning in the low to mid 50s in some spots, which is just a little bit lower than where we should be for this time of year. Now, as we go through the rest of the week, we're going to continue this dry pattern. We don't really see any significant rain moving in for the work week. We'll be warming a little bit each day, and we are even going to see those temperatures moving into the mid-80s as we go into the middle of this week and also the latter part of the week as well. But heading into the weekend, that's when we'll see a few showers moving in. At this point, it doesn't look like it's widespread, but we're going to talk more about those chances coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Chris, we will see you then. Thank you. For the first time, we are seeing the full video from a Waffle House in South Alabama after 3 white officers threw a black woman to the ground while arresting her. The video has outraged a lot of people all over the country, and they are sharing comments on Facebook, leading to a protest at Waffle House's headquarters in Gwinnett County today. The original clip of the arrest had been viewed thousands of times on Facebook. Witnesses say the woman was asking for a manager after a worker canceled her order because she complained about a 50-cent charge for plastic utensils. Much of the anger online has focused on the fact that this woman's top was pulled down as she was being arrested. 11Alive's Liza Lucas was at today's protest.
For protesters, today was all about demanding answers in the wake of that viral video. That demand quickly turning into a promise to boycott.
Local activists gathered outside Waffle House's headquarters in Norcross, demanding to hear from Waffle House leaders over this cell phone video showing 3 Alabama police officers wrestling a black woman to the ground. At one point, you can hear one officer say she's going to break her arm. Activists now calling for a hearing by the FTC on consumer rights.
As a consumer, you have rights. And if you want to ask for a manager, that's not being disruptive.
Plus, calling for more sit-ins and protests.
Broad-based sit-in and protests to bring attention to the issue.
The protest moved inside after a Waffle House spokesperson invited the group to watch restaurant footage they say was provided to police. Officers say the video shows the woman was drunk, tried to bring alcohol into the restaurant, and refused to leave when asked by workers. Protesters not satisfied, wanting more answers about the company's diversity training, which Waffle House says is proprietary information. A Waffle House spokesperson told the group employees followed protocol when calling police, but the investigation is ongoing. The protesters promising to launch a national boycott with another rally planned on May 4th. Liza Lucas, 11Alive News.
There are fears tonight about romaine lettuce that is linked to an E. coli outbreak. Coming up after the break, why many experts say this particular strain is really, really dangerous.
A former Atlanta Braves coach honors the doctor who saved his life, how he's paying it forward, coming up later in the show.
And a warning tonight for parents how child predators could be using simple hashtags to find their next victims.